What happened? Sit down.
Both of these need to come in.
We don't have the Rickies. Yeah, just turn it. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it?
One second.
Now,
Your big butt knocking on the
oh,
floor.
okay. Is that gonna get loud? So we don't have the Rickies tonight, and we try to do it ourselves. And I think we did good.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Yours got the best view.
I got that new 11.
How did you get the new 11?
You didn't want it.
I did.
And I didn't want it.
But you took it from me.
No, you begged me to take it.
Yo, I got my Rock Soul gear on. It's on the back. Rock Soul. Ooh, ooh. I don't want to just turn around and moon everybody.
Yeah, that's me right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. We haven't been on in
2 weeks. We had a birthday girl last week.
Who?
You.
Yeah, and they surprised me, and it was pretty cool. I danced all night. It was cool, like, and they kept it where it was not a lot of people. And I have to be honest, I liked it like that.
Yeah, intimate.
Yeah.
Intimate.
Yeah, because I could, like, really have fun.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to, like, end up all night taking pictures. And which I enjoy showing love, but sometimes I just want to be Tasia from High Point.
Watch out now.
Hey, that's where I'm from. I just be wanting to be the High Point Tasia and just dance, take my shoes off.
Be yourself.
He played something at the end. Is that Petey Pablo? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel like I was at church. You remember?
Might be.
I was started shouting.
I was probably picking up all your gifts, trying to get everything to the car.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for their birthday wishes. Everybody, all our Rock Soul fans, and everybody. It would take me forever. Tracy dropped me a gift off tonight, so thanks, Trace. Essence dropped me a gift off. The gifts keep coming, so it's good to be loved.
I appreciate everybody who showed support to my wife. So many people reached out, sent stuff by mail. Yeah. Just sent texts of gratitude and appreciation, and Veronica and her husband for opening up their spot. You know, DJ Sean Nice came out to cook up as he always
and the band. Oh my God, what's the band name? They killed. I just want to shout them out right quick. I put their name on the post that I did, a little video. Yeah. If you're ever doing an event and you want a good band,
especially in the Carolinas,
they smashed. I kid you not, and the girl can really, really sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, we just had some challenges. You know, we got a lot of family. We got a lot of responsibilities. We got a lot of projects on the table, even though it's still COVID. So we missed that week, and then last week was my queen's birthday, which was much needed.
Fun. And we kept it really, really small.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just want to say, I want to send prayers out to my oldest brother, Teeny, and his family, because they caught the virus.
Yeah.
And I think, like, you start, like, kind of forgetting
that it's real,
until it hits, like, somebody close to you. So I just want to, you know, pray for my brother, Teeny, and his family, his kids, because they caught the virus. So it's making us really pause. Because at first, I think everybody started kind of stepping out. Mm-hmm. And I had started going to the store with my mask off.
Yeah. We need you to not do that.
I know.
Same goes for me. Same applies.
I think since I found out about it, I ain't really been wanting to even go to this tour.
I just say we'd rather go as hard as we need to go until the smoke is clear, because we got a lot of stuff that we're responsible for, a lot of people we're responsible for.
Yeah.
So it can almost be selfish and short-sighted for us to go out there and conduct ourselves in a manner that puts us at risk. Is a disservice to everything that we try to build, and everybody that's rooting for us and investing in us and supporting us. And so we're gonna be more accountable to that too. And then yesterday, like, we really do try to adhere to our Tuesdays. We want to be consistent. We want to be dependable. But yesterday I had some back and neck pain that was just out of this world.
I had to rub them down with the oil.
Had me slippery.
Let me tell you something. I don't need no masseuse. I can do it.
Yeah.
I done told y'all the first time I am everything then what?
Yeah, you don't even want me to go get no massage no more.
I sure don't. I'll do it. I'm going to school to learn how to do it so I can massage my own man. I ain't playing.
I know you're not. I know you're not.
I'm pretty good at it.
Can you go get a good massage? Cause I'm like, man, is my wife gonna be in a good mood when I get back? I'm gonna go back with more kinks.
I don't want nobody to be rubbing on.
I'm the same way. I ain't having no male masseuse.
If
you're a male masseuse out there, if you even see us walk in your building, you can cancel it, homie. You can go ahead and cancel it right now. If I'm gonna look at you, you gonna look at me. No, right now, it ain't happening. You ain't touching her. You know what I mean?
And then we gotta be honest too. I think I'm gonna speak for myself. With everything that's going on, it just kind of steals your drive.
Yeah, being motivated is tough.
Yeah.
These at-home workouts is for the birds. I'm so sick of push-ups and curls, and I mean, for real, I took 2 weeks off and was like, man,
I saw
whatever.
you out there today, and you was just thinking. You just stopped and just what was wrong?
I couldn't breathe. I told you I took 2 weeks off. I couldn't breathe.
I was standing at the door like, what's going on?
And it was me and God.
Oh my God.
No doubt.
And
It take that.
I just don't have no drive. I'm a hustler. I'm a natural born hustler. So I'm like, I missed the stage. Even though we have some great things cooking up, I was telling, we did, we don't reveal that yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we had some calls, some Skype calls with some, some high-powered people. And I just said to them, like, did y'all ever think we would be just doing, you know what I mean? Like doing this? I think there's so much strength in getting out and mingling with people and being amongst people. And so it's just, it's different. So we have to call it out, call it out, and call each other up.
And that's why we're here, know. And one thing that I'm very protective over is my home, my family, and my bedroom. Social media practices even tell women not to post in the bed or in certain atmospheres that can cause stalkers to be
and we're in our
enticed.
room.
But we're in our room for a specific reason. We could have chose outside, inside, upstairs. We're in our room because this is the type of topic when you have it with your spouse, your lover, potential candidate, hopefully y'all past that point if you're in the bedroom. But when it comes time to calling things out of your mate in hopes of calling them up, you have to set a certain atmosphere.
Yeah.
You have to set a certain tempo. I'll definitely speak towards the men and let you have free reign to speak towards the women as only you can do, but I know it's for men. It's a challenge to call things out of us. Men deal with different levels of insecurities. We deal with different levels of fear, pride, ego, and fear of failure. So there's been times you've aimed to call things out of me that based on the way it was done or the atmosphere it was done, I took it as a dig or an attack to my manhood, to my office as a husband. I felt like I was being called a failure or, you had made a mistake. But now that we've grown, you have managed to find a way to tap into my heart and call things out of me, and I've been able to trust you knowing that this is something that you do identify in me as something that could be a hindrance, that could be a risk, hazardous to my character, and then call me up. So I'll get into that, but my question to you is, what does it look like for a woman to have something called out of her? I don't like the word criticize or confronted, but called out in hopes of being able to call you up. As a woman, what does that look like for you?
You're saying from a male perspective or a woman's perspective?
From your perspective, correct. Like, what is the best approach that I should take? Even though we you know what I mean,
to call me up.
To call you up, but first you have to call it out.
Yeah. I think in calling it out, it's the approach and how you call it out. Mm-hmm. It's not coming to me like, I told you so. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. It can't be that. It has to be thought out. You know me by now.
Right.
And that's the other thing. You got to know your partner, your business partner, your kids. Because, like, even with my oldest girl, I have to go to her a certain way. And this bag, I'll be about to have a panic attack. So I'm like, oh, Lord, here we go. But I have to sit back and figure out, what are the things that push her buttons? What are her insecurities? What, you know what I mean? So the only way to call somebody up is by calling them out in decency or, like, in the right way.
Right.
So you have to come to that person and you sit with them and you allow them to know that, number one, I love you. Number one, I appreciate you. But there's some things that I'm seeing that's off that I know ain't you. Right? I know that's not you, babe. So talk to me about it. And that's even better. Ask me first. Don't just. And I have that thing. Kendall says I come to him and I'll say we need to talk. And as soon as I start opening my mouth, I'll be like, blah, blah, blah. He be like, that ain't talking. You just said what you want to say. And then you just got up and walked off. And that's not fair. It's not fair. It's not cool. So I think it's all in. If you love somebody, there's a way to call a person up. There's a way to call them up. There's a way to, in business. I talk to Derikas all the time, and I really like, he's a Sagittarius, so he's so laid back.
Yeah, he's chill.
And I like how he do things, because sometimes he'll call me for advice, or I'll call him for advice. And this last time we were talking, I was like, well, this is what you should do. He said, no, nah, I ain't going to do it that way. I'm going to pause, I'm going to wait. And sometimes we want results, like, right now. Right. But you have to pause and you have to wait, because you have to sit back and figure out, how do I approach that person? How do I approach it? Because everybody that's on here right now, everybody's different personalities, different birthdays, different signs. And so you got to study your person. You got to study them and give it time so you'll know how to approach them. It's a way to call me up. I mean, I'm sensitive. I'm a Cancer.
But see, that's a good point. That's why I wanted you to start. Because here's something that I've learned just in relationship management, especially in my marriage. What you're looking for out of this marriage, I might not be looking for.
Wait, can you guys hear us?
They should be able to.
Because we set this up ourselves. Anybody? Can somebody just say, yeah, y'all are good, we can hear y'all? And I think mine's is paused, babe.
It shouldn't be. It's
okay.
rolling.
Okay, I think they can hear us.
Okay, they said yes.
Yes, okay. Thanks. That's the twins. Fox twins. Those are little girls that come. Well, they're not little girls no more, but thanks, twins. Okay, what were we saying? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you good. So the thing about calling something out of somebody is I've learned that the way that I would respond to constructive criticism. What you doing?
It's not moving, so I was just making sure.
Oh, yeah, okay. You see the heart jumping, right?
Oh.
Yeah, it's active.
Okay.
When I'm going to call something out of somebody, the one thing I have to be more sensitive about is realizing they may not have the same skin that I have. Mm-hmm. They may not process things the way I process. Mm-hmm. And you don't know what scar, what trauma, what defense mechanism is behind that. Yeah. So I know in my relationship with you, I've had to learn where your sensitive spots are, where your hot buttons are. Some non-negotiables. Do not touch this. Do not address this. I have to navigate between those landmines in order to get to your heart. I can't just come in like a bull in a china shop and be like, "Yo, this is what I'm saying. This is what I believe. You are capable of doing. Here's the rundown." No, I gotta be mindful of the fact that I am calling this out. May make you feel like a failure as a wife. It may make you feel insecure. Yeah. So I need to come in there with white gloves on and make sure that they call it a carrot and a stick, where I say, look, I love what you've been doing lately. Like, I appreciate, like, you've been prepping the meals, man. You've been holding the house down. You've been doing everything. I have like been prepping the meals. Oh, you've been killing it. Yeah. Then be like, but I want to know if this is a good time where I could bring up something to you that's just been on my mind, and I want you to receive it with an open heart. Yeah. So I've laid out. I've given some kudos, some congratulations, some salutes, and so on and so forth. Before I come in, you can pad it. Yeah. You can pad it in such a way where Now the guards are not up. It's a loving atmosphere. Then I can say, okay, can I bring this for? And then if you accept it, then you're inviting the wisdom and the advice that I have to give.
But you know what else though? There's a way you can bring something out of somebody without even saying like, you know what, I want to bring something up to you. You know what I mean? Like the one person that I have seen do it all the time is TD Jakes.
Okay.
And I'd be like, dang, you know what I mean? Sometimes he don't even say, I noticed this, I see that. You know, if you watch some of his interviews, he has a way of pulling things out, and I think that's by listening.
Indeed.
It's by listening. It's if you really listen to a person. For example, I remember when I did my first session of therapy. I went, and basically you sit on the couch, they ask you one question, and you just start talking.
They let you walk it out.
They let you rock, right? Eventually, after they let you talk, and they listen, they mention, see, poor connection, paused.
Okay, we'll just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll work.
They eventually ask you something, and you really answer yourself.
Right.
You really be like, well, dog, I just sat here and figured it out myself. So I think if you're a great listener, and that's something, we're about to be 6 years in this thing.
Next week, we got an anniversary.
We are really learning how to listen and call things out in a different way. Now, when we first got together, I said, wonder why Ken could go into business meetings. And them business meetings, I be in there ready to fire off at people like, nah, that's wrong, nah, I ain't having this, I ain't having that. Ken be sitting back like, A week later, he'll come back and you know what I mean? And I'll be like, why? You can't do that with me.
I don't care nothing about that. That's business. That's money. Not that it's an excuse, but you made a good point. You know, she basically called me out one time and was saying, how come I don't approach her heart the same way I approach the hustle? And I was talking to some men the other day. We were talking about marriages, and I told them what we felt at sometimes is when it comes to a business deal, we'll map it out. We'll do our due diligence. We'll do our research. We'll do our analysis, our pros, our cons. We'll come back with a true strategy of how we're going to execute and accomplish that goal. Mm-hmm. But with our women, we wake up in the morning, we brush our teeth, and we just walk. We don't think about it. We don't strategize. We don't take any kind of analysis. We don't look at any kind of seasonal trends or what's going on when she's on her cycle. What's going on when something's going on with the family. What's going on when she got a lot of demands on her. We just get up and we just start walking, and that's a disservice to your marriage. We have to approach it with the same level of intellect and strategy that we do other things that bring us different levels of gratification as men. We have to give our best and our first fruits to our women. And to echo something else you said, you was like listening. And this is something that I came across in scripture, and I hate that I don't have it at the tip of my tongue, but all of our devices. Huh?
Want me to go get my Bible?
Nah, you should be okay.
Because I got my word, honey.
But basically it was saying that you listen with your heart. And it hit me like a ton of bricks, because my wife would say certain things sometimes, and she would say, you're not listening. And I say, I hear you. I heard what you said. I heard exactly what you said. You're not listening. What it is I'm hearing what she's saying, but I'm not listening with my heart to try to understand what she's trying to say. So you hear with your ear, but you listen with your heart. Mm-hmm. And when you got a listening heart, you can definitely receive somebody calling you up, calling you out, and vice versa in a relationship. But I do believe it starts with the men. I believe another way to call somebody out is by your demonstration.
Pretty much.
If you got somebody in your marriage and they don't want to work out, right? Get up and go work out every day. Get up, go work out, bust your tail, start eating different, almost leave them behind. That might be the motivation that they need to start doing it themselves versus you saying, hey, you picking on a little bit of weight, or, you don't look good, which is a horrible thing to do. But sometimes your demonstration is a great tool to help call people in.
I don't know about that, because some women be like, I ain't going to that gym, he can go to the gym all he want. And then what happens is,
you be sitting back insecure.
You be sitting back insecure. You got all this stuff going through you. I just told somebody this the other day. They called me and was talking about their relationship. And she was like, I'm feeling like he doing something. He up to something. And I was like, well, what makes you feel like that? So they were just kind of, breaking down some of the things to me. And I asked her, I was like, well, do you do any of these things with him?
Okay.
And she was like, no. I don't like like to do that. I don't like to do that. I don't like that. And I said, well, relationship is a compromise.
Every day.
Because I might not like to fish, but if my dude want to go fishing, I'm going to go fishing.
Or at least find out what he doing.
Or at least find, right. You know what I mean? I might not like, I know I love water. Ken will jump up and go to the water when we will go to the lake. We'll ride to the beach. But I know he may prefer to go to the mountains. All right, you know what I mean? But so we'll go to the beach this week. Next week we'll go to the mountains, babe. Like if your man like to ride motorcycles and he hang with a motorcycle crew, you might need to join the little gathering. They do little gatherings. Get on the back, put on a helmet, tell God to cover you, and ride with him. Because if you don't, that is how things start to happen. Your man like to work out. He looking good. He cut up. How that look? He come home and you just sitting there eating a big old cheeseburger and you want to argue about where he been. Like, you have to compromise.
I agree.
You have to.
I agree.
And you can't just be like, I'm going to go to the gym and maybe she'll get up. No, call it out and call him up in a certain kind of way.
So speaking of that, calling something out, I think we need to dive a little bit deeper. This is not a territory to be petty, because a lot of people tend to want to call things out of somebody else because you feel inferior in that space. You feel like it's a threat to you. It reminds you of your insecurity, or you don't want to get into the calling things out over preferences. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, we both will fold and wash clothes. I'm not a dude. I clean my house, I cook, I wash, I do dishes. Like, it ain't that big a deal to me. But my wife likes the towels folded a certain way. Right? Now I'm busting corners down. Now, I got it. It's all geometry. I'm busting corners down. But she likes to give them an extra fold and an extra tuck, right? That's a preference, right? No problem. The main thing that holds it together is we both want to be clean. We both believe them towels need to be folded as soon as they get out the dryer and thrown into the dryer as soon as they get out the washer. So they don't get mildew. We share in that. Yeah. But we don't need to argue over the preferences. No. And I think a lot of couples, I know because we did it in the beginning and we're still working through that. Mm-hmm. We have not arrived. It's learning how to put the preferences aside and look at the values and look at the principles and look at the morale of a thing. And when those things start getting touched, that's when you want to call up.
Look, I did it. Listen, you should be proud of me.
I'm always proud of you.
No, when we went to Bentley's the other day. So this is where we argue sometimes. Like, I want to tell Kendall how to drive and which routes to take. Because those are the routes I take.
Preferences.
So we get in the car and I be like, you should have just made a right. And he'd be like, well, I always go left. And I'm going to tell you something about Kendall. He get in the car, and for some reason, when I get in the car with him, he never knows how to go where we need to go.
There's some dudes who grew up with me. You roll with me. You know I get the drive, and I just space out, man. I just be like, yo, where am I?
But if we got to be there, let's just get there. If we trying to go eat, if we trying to go pick something up, Ken be like, babe, I'm just riding. I'll figure it out. Now, we used to literally fall out about that. But the other day, I was just like, hey, I'm going to let him get the Bentleys, and you got the Bentley. I was so proud.
Stop playing. I know how to get the Bentley.
Kendall, sometimes you don't even know how to get home. You ain't good with that.
But I'm always home, though. I'm always on time.
But aren't you proud?
I'm never late.
I ain't say make this turn, go here. I ain't say nothing. We was trying to find a parking space. Normally, I'd be like, there go one right there. Kendall will be right in front of one, back up.
I got a big Escalade. I gotta find a nice little situation for me to tuck into. No, because you know I'm backing in. I'm not pulling in forward. I'm backing in.
See, I will go ahead and pull in.
So my point was, my point was, do you argue about a preference and set aside the fact that we both want to go to Bentley's? We both know we need to be there as soon as they open because you can't wait to get your oysters. When it's time to call somebody up, I think it's very important that you check yourself first. Why are you calling that person up? Is this something really to make them a better person? Yeah. And therefore it's worth the risk of getting into this conversation? Or is this something that you want for a selfish reason based off your preferences and what you want them to do? You're not here to satisfy my ego. You're actually here to call me outside of my ego to help me raise up to be a better man. Right. So therefore, and vice versa. So if I come to you about something, it's got to be really something that's either going against the scriptures, something going against the code that we built as a family. It can't be because I want you to do it my way.
Yeah.
That's the tricky part. And a lot of men and women reject being called up and you never get, called out, and you never get the chance to call up because the thing that you're putting your finger on is for very selfish gain. Very selfish gain.
Yeah.
That was a point, and then hypocrisy. You can't call me up or call me out on something that I just seen or heard you do 2 days ago.
Yeah. Then that's when it becomes you just trying to, you know what I mean?
Correct. You're trying to manipulate the situation.
Because I'm going to tell you, like, here's why I am. Not even just in our marriage. I'm kind of like that now with friendships. Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm like that with friendships and relationships. If you can't call me out and call me up, what we friends for? Where we going? And if I can't do you the same, then we're not friends.
Right.
So when I can meet some people that every time I see them, their conversation is the same. Negative. And if I can give you some advice and I see that it ain't going nowhere and it bounces right back, then now anytime I see you, I'm just gonna be like, okay, yeah, man. Because I've seen that it ain't going. We're not going nowhere with this. You don't want to change. You just want to stay in that negative place.
So what do you do? Okay, let's cook.
Sometimes you can't okay.
Because with friendships, it's easier. With friendships, you can put some space between you. I can give you some time to figure it out. And if you fall and fail, it doesn't personally affect me. But when it's your mate.
Yeah. Well, that's not true, though, especially for women. Because, you know, we our friends is our girls. That's our, you know, I come to you sometime, we be out in tears. Because I be like, she just hurt my feelings. Yeah. It's different for women than it is for men.
All day.
You know what I mean? It's different. Yeah. It's different. So you know what I mean? Like I could be hurt for weeks if I had a friend that we were so close and a falling out happened or something. You know what I mean? Like it hurts, and I just feel like we can't be friends if we can't call each other out and call each other up. What are we doing?
But what do you do when it's your husband? What do you do when it's your wife? And you have taken a loving approach. You set the atmosphere. You've filtered yourself out, made sure it's not coming from a selfish posture, and you're really trying to call this person up, whether it's their faith, their spending habits, some addictions that they have, unwillingness to communicate, compromise, forgive.
I'm going to show you. You stop right there. Can I go get it?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
I don't know where she going.
Wait. I'm going to just show you because when it's your husband or your wife.
And I apologize. I think this is my IG. We got like several devices going up here at the same time. They keep pausing a little bit, so we really do appreciate y'all's patience. And in a minute, we definitely going to want to ask you all a couple questions and see what y'all think as it relates to calling up somebody that you love. You know, calling it out first, you know, addressing that thing that you see, and then being able to call them up. You know, I know for me personally, nobody in my life can really call anything out of me but my wife. Not that they're not necessarily qualified per se, but from the standpoint, she's with me every day. She sees the stuff that I do great, and she sees the things that I do that's some BS, and some days that I'm off my character and I'm not walking righteously, or, you know, letting my anger bring me to sin. She's right there. She's right there in a position to be able to say, hey. Because 9 times out of 10, when we all step outside the front door, we put that hat on, we put that face on. How you doing, sir? What's going on, sir? Absolutely. Blessed and highly favored and all that nonsense. But my wife, don't play no.
Look, I can't find one of the ones that I was looking for, but this is a good one. So,
which one is this
one? The Spirit of a Man.
Okay.
So, it's for men and women, but it says the transformation for black men and the woman who loved them. Ayanna Van Zant. Okay, no, you can't just give up on your marriage. I don't advise you to just give up on your friendships, but it's easier to walk away from friendships, business partners, than it is your husband or your wife. My advice is, you go to God about it. When we first got married, there was a lot of things that the older women would tell me, pray about it. And I used to be like, girl, oh my God, I want to kill him. You want me to pray about it? How long that's going to take?
I ain't dead yet.
and you know what? It works. You have to go to God about it. And then, you know, people who other married couples, women would tell me what books to read. And it actually helps because it shows you different things. So I just think you pick up the good book, you find books that you can read, and you find other people who have been in relationships longer than you, that you can talk to.
Successful relationships. Successful. Not because they rocking in wealth and they have the material things that you want, but you truly see they have a spiritual connection, an eternal connection. And you do. The more you pray, you really do start to understand why they tell you to do that, because when you get on your knees, I know for me, several times I got on my knees and I was going to God to get at you. But you know how I feel straight, and I know you done it for me. You done told me you gonna tell God get me.
I showed it.
But what he do when you hit your knees, he show you yourself.
Yeah.
He show you the last thing that you said.
Yeah.
He show you the last thing that you did. He show you where he forgave you. And the more he start hitting you with that, you be like, yo, like, and then you can come back with an open heart and an open spirit.
Yeah.
And that's why God has to be at the middle of your relationship and at the front of your relationship and the back and surrounding your relationship to where you are smothered with him, because he'll constantly show you not just who you are, but he always showed me how he sees my wife. Because there's been plenty of times I ain't see my wife the way I probably need to see my wife in that moment. But in that prayer time, I get to see how he sees you.
Yeah.
And if I love him like I say I love him, and I want him to love me the way I want him to love me, then I have to handle you in a certain manner based on how he sees you, not how I feel. And then, shoot, sometimes I can be in an attempt to call you up, and I end up getting called out and called up in the midst of that, because I realize it's selfish, it's short-sighted, and it's evil at the end of the day.
It's easy for somebody else to see what somebody else is doing. Hey, boom, ooh, would you say this? Sometimes you got to look in the mirror and call it out and call yourself up. Woo!
Yo, Don't forget your stuff, because I heard something in a sermon one day said we normally judge from our own place of self-hatred. So sometimes that thing that's bothering you about another person, you do it. You do the exact same thing. We do the exact same thing. Or we're trying to highlight that thing so we can mask that thing over here that we got.
Yeah. Sometimes it's almost like when we were having a conversation. I can't forget. I remember what Tuesday that was, where somebody was, kind of asking. They asked me the same question often, like, how did you know he was the one, and how did you, like, I had to prepare myself and cleanse my thoughts and the old patterns and the old ways, and so sometimes you got to look in the mirror and you got to call yourself up and call yourself out. Facts. Before you can do that with anybody. Facts. Before you can have any healthy relationship.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
What you be saying at your show? Sweep around your front porch.
Sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine.
You heard us say it.
It's the truth. That's an old gospel song. I think it was the Williams brothers. They used to say, sweep around your own front door. And it's the truth. It's like, how you going to come over here to my house trying to clean stuff up, and then I come over to yours and your house is dirty. Right. You ain't got nothing, your stuff in order.
The scripture said, man, Christ had that parable of the plank, and he was like, yo, basically paraphrasing, he's like, yo, don't come criticize me about this toothpick in my eye. You got a 2x4 poking out of yours, and that's something that we have to do as couples, as people, and as leaders.
Yeah. It's another one. I know this one. He without sin cast the first stone.
Don't throw no rocks at me, bruh.
Right.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? And listen, that's hard to do, but you got to do it if you have any type of healthy relationship. You got to do it.
So you can go to bed with integrity. You don't want to go to bed having to win but wake up a hypocrite.
Let's just,
you know what I mean?
What about this? Call it out and call them up. Let me see. I gotta say it right, because they will call it out. We cannot continue to march and be against cops and racism and them killing us if we keep killing each other.
That's all day.
Call it out and call them up. Ricky Smiley daughter, and we've been keeping him in our prayers. His daughter got shot 3 times.
Shout out, bro.
By her very own people. A little girl, 6 years old, got killed by gang-related violence.
It ain't stopping. I saw a video of a dude was walking this little 4-year-old girl across the street. Some dude walked up, drove up and shot him in the head. Y'all probably saw it. The point at the end of the day is it applies to every area of life. You got to be authentic, and you got to be true to what you stand on, to what you protest, to what you invest in, to what you join in covenant with. You have to be 100% true with it. Not perfect, not perfect. I tell people all the time, God is not fair. He's just.
Yeah.
He's not fair. He's just. That's why he gave one talent. He gave one a couple talents, gave one 5 talents. The one with the 1 talent may say this ain't fair, but he's looking at their skill set and he's saying, okay, I've been just. So we have to operate at a higher level so that as a race of people and as a nation of people, we can call things out of each other. And that's what it used to be. It used to take a village to raise a child, and that's what it was. Calling it out, calling them up. It didn't matter whose kid it was, what neighbor it was, how you took care of your yard. But now we just gotten into this space where, yeah.
Another thing I'm sorry, I just kind of zoned out because I was thinking about, I couldn't watch the video, whatever that was you watched, but you was telling me about it, and I got numb for a little while, and I was just sitting here thinking, I was like, you know what? It goes back to me saying you got to look in the mirror and you got to figure out who you are, because we're so busy trying to be like
anything, whatever's hot today, whatever the wave is.
Pretty much, it's like
So all your identity has to be in God through Christ.
Yeah.
So you at least got a blueprint that's not gonna change. It's not gonna change next year. It ain't gonna look different. 10 years from now, it's something you can anchor yourself in and you can trust it. You know what I mean? A true foundation. I know we got a couple minutes. You good, sweetie?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
I
was just thinking, and that's what we were saying. Like, we ain't even normally we do like a write up and we have.
Yeah, but my iPad and all my devices are over here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But again, it's just been a lot going on, and it's kind of had us in pause mode. You know what I mean? And that's. We were doing some calls the other day, and we had both. I think I was saying you gotta call it out, call it up, and we both. And I was like, that needs to be what we need to talk about. So, I think that's what we all need to focus on is calling things out and calling that person up, your husband
yourself
and your wife.
First.
Yeah,
and yourself first. This is a great time to do some self inventory. I say that all the time. This is a great time to look at yourself. I'm trying to do better at looking at myself every day. Making sure that I am sitting as the man God wants me to be before these things come.
Yeah.
Because all these blessings can come and they'll continue to mask that area of your life that's polluted and it's rusty and it's tarnished. And it's going to be exposed at the wrong time. And now you've compromised all of this. I want to make sure that I'm squared up. I'm A1 before all of this comes so that I can handle it with integrity. That's my responsibility to God, the Most High, to my family and my children, and to the people that I serve.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking advantage of this time. And we got a couple texts left. I want to see if y'all got some questions.
Time is going by that fast.
Yeah, time be blowing.
Dang.
Time be blowing.
But how do you see? You can't.
Yeah, we got this one. You got, I think that's my IG. This is your Facebook. This is your
Somebody
Instagram.
said, I wish y'all would call me.
Yeah, she was like, the village has changed, redesigned, and not for the better. Indeed, but the beauty about that is every day is an opportunity to do something different. And sometimes it just takes one, and then one. And I always stand on the fact, if every man just took responsibility for his own children and his own well-being and his own, he ain't got to come out his front yard. But if every man took ownership and responsibility to lead, provide, discipline, and guide just his household, the world will be a better place. But this dude over here worrying about what this dude doing with his wife and what they not doing with their kids, and it's just a fiasco. You know what I mean? I'm looking for a good question. Normally Dorica's be here, and he be like, boom, he be ready to go.
I know, we miss you, D.
Yeah, for real, bro.
How can you cut people off despite your feelings? Well, here's the thing. Your feelings will get you in trouble.
Every time.
Let me tell you something. If that relationship is toxic and they're not bringing anything to the table on their end, and you keep carrying it, you keep trying, you're gonna look up one day and you're gonna be like, yo, I put so much into this and I've lost so much putting so much into this one relationship. So you gotta figure out a way, you know what I mean? And I always say to women, we go to God about our relationships, ask God, like, what do you want me to do? What do you, because if it's not good for you, you gotta let it go. Your feelings will get you in trouble.
Okay, so what if you're trying to make the situation better? How do you present it in a nice way? A humble heart, you can't fake a humble heart. People know when you coming from a place of sincerity. What's that cliche saying? They say people don't care what you know until they know that you care. Basically, when people know that you truly care about them and you give them a feeling of safety and security, that gives them the strength that it takes. It takes strength to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It is a courageous thing. So I think when you're presenting yourself in an authentic and humble spirit, you'll get a good reception from the people you're speaking to.
That was a good one. Yeah. How do you deal with your stepkids? Hey, that's when you can tell a person's true heart, is when they can love a child that's not, their blood child. But you, like, I see Trey, that's my son.
Right.
Cole and Kyan, they're my grandbabies.
I never called Dallas and Zion my stepkids.
And they don't call him stepdad.
They're my kids.
But it takes, boom. There's a certain way you have to approach those children for them to even want to call you dad or pops. Yeah,
you gotta break.
You see? So when we first got married, I used to tell him, like, go to him, say something. And he used to say to me, no, give me time. I've got to build their trust.
She wanted me to discipline her like the second week we was married.
Tell her, like, get on her.
I was like, give me a minute.
But he was like, you have to give me a minute because I'm trying to build her trust and build a relationship with her where she can come. And now, real talk, Zion will go to him before she go to me.
She do not want to let me down. You know what I mean? And that's what you have to do. You have to earn it.
Yeah.
Just because we got married and we made a decision about something, there's no all access pass to all the kids. She had to earn and build her relationship with my son Trey. I had to earn and build my relationship with Zion and Dallas. And just like any relationship, it has to be managed every day. I could get off this live right now, go upstairs and say something to Zion that could ruin everything that I built with her in the past 6 years. It's just as fragile. Yeah. Just like this marriage. I could go out here and do something tomorrow night and lose my wife. It won't matter. All the good stuff, this Taylor talk, none of that will matter. And you have to manage it like that every single day. Mm-hmm. These right here are small to read. I got great sight.
I know. Oh my God.
Huh.
What?
This is an interesting side. How do you feel about black men who have power and use that power to degrade black women?
Ooh.
Because I got a whole flip side for that one. You're not gonna see this one coming.
I'm gonna give my point of view as women.
Give it to them, baby.
Listen, it ain't no difference from certain songs. Like, if I hear Zion playing a certain song, and I just be listening, and because now the music has totally changed from when I was younger. I don't be understanding. I be like, what did they just say? But I hear a couple times, like, bitch, ho, you my thotty, and I see little girls in the room like, yeah, I'm like, well, you're actually accepting, and you're actually saying that you are
speaking it over your life.
You know what I mean? So it's almost like, as a woman, we gotta get back to the point where we raise up a standard to be like, you remember it was a time where a man come out his mouth and call a woman bitch, you get smacked. For real, you be like, what you say? Girls used to be like popping off, and now it's almost like, don't worry, I'm his bitch. That's my, and I get it, but to a certain, you gotta, I'm gonna call my women up. I'm gonna call it out and call you up. You can't allow certain things to happen either just because you're looking for love and he paying your bills and, you then got into a certain relationship and he letting you know what it's you. Oh my God, I was listening to a song the other day on Alexa, and I ain't gonna say no names, but it said, you can have him on the weekends and I take him on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And, it's almost like you're kind of allowing that type of behavior. And listen, I ain't perfect, but I tell you one thing, I have grown a lot. I'm 36 and good. And there's just certain things that we have to, as women, raise up a standard and say, nope, and no. No, it's your point of view. You get what I'm saying, though?
I get you.
Okay.
But I'm going to do one solid and I'm out.
Uh-oh.
It ain't always, it's not always the ones in power you have to watch. It's the men who don't have power.
Ooh.
and they have these insecurities, and they're constantly trying to pull you down because of where they're not in their life, what they have not accomplished, and they see you striving, they see you studying late at night, and they're not putting their hand to the plow. So yeah, you do have powerful men who degrade women, but you also have powerless men who are constantly trying to pull black women down and make themselves feel powerful. So you have to be careful of it and try to find happiness in the middle.
It ain't no difference from when we was watching Angry Birds.
Mm-hmm.
So we was watching
Don't worry about
Angry
that.
Birds.
We was watching Angry Birds, just me and my wife.
Yeah, okay.
In the theater room watching Angry Birds.
Too.
Happy.
I like that movie. If
Happy.
you really watch cartoons, they be having
That's
a
when
lot
you know
of
you're
messages.
happy. Just watching Angry Bird. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
that's my
Oh
favorite
yeah, that was it. I
cartoon
see
right
where
now.
you're going though. Yeah.
So Red is the man right now in Angry Birds 2 because he saved all the birds in Angry Birds 1. Remember, from the pig.
He's feeling himself.
So now on 2, he feeling himself. They got Red signs up. Red is the man. You know, everywhere he go, they like, what's up, Red? So somebody new came out, and they was like, we coming for the pigs and the birds, right? So the pigs and the birds linked up. They gonna go, and they gonna, stop the madness. But the girl was the one, I can't think, Silver. Her name's Silver. Silver had so many ideas, strategies, but Red couldn't take it because he didn't want to let down the whole demeanor of he was the man, you know what I mean? And he got himself in a lot of trouble because he didn't want to listen and he didn't want to take any advice from the woman. Anyway, towards the end, they both worked together, came together as one. He submitted to her, she submitted to him. And then they saved the pigs, the eagles, and you know what I mean? The whole situation.
Yeah,
so it's about like that. It's like we gotta stop trying to be.
Again, God saw Adam down there chilling. He was ruling and subduing.
But you don't be a line.
And he knew. I was saving it for the end. We got white carpet in here. I'ma wait. Yeah,
Now you know I've been drunk in mine.
But the Most High looked down and created Adam and realized he needed something specific. He needed something specific. He didn't need another brother. He didn't need a cousin. He created a woman from his rib as a complement to rule and subdue the entire earth and all eternity. And that's how we have to approach certain things, is remember, it was never designed for you to do it by yourself. You have to have support. You have to have help. You need to walk in humility. There's power in partnerships. And especially with a woman. I'd rather rock with my woman and I got some solid dudes. I got some solid kings. But it's something about rocking with my hitter right here.
All your kings got queens, though.
Yeah, they all got queens.
All of them got women, and everybody is, you know what I mean? So I will say this to the men who are watching and to whoever it was that asked that question, because we can't really see, and we want to get to a point where we like call names out and stuff like that, but the Rikus was here, he would help us. But I want to say to the men who are watching, your woman, we are different creatures. We are emotional, we are fragile, we are unique, and it's up to you to treat us as, to take care of the gentle flowers that we are. And so you can't disrespect them. You can't be talking all kind of ways. We gotta learn how to just, get back to the point where we cover and protect our women, because we're different from you guys.
Somebody asked a question, basically what they were asking is, how do you keep up with your individualism inside of a relationship? I'm sorry I didn't ask it the correct way or the way it flew so quick, but they're basically saying, how do you maintain and keep yourself inside of a marriage? So I guess a good way to kind of
everybody has their different things that they do. Like, we know a couple that on Tuesdays or on Wednesdays, the mother leaves the house. Oh my God, my mama is calling.
I thought you was on Do Not Disturb.
I thought I was too. Sorry. My mama called. And watch her call right back. What were we saying?
They got their routine to keep that individual.
Yeah. Somebody may go on Tuesdays, the dad gets a break and go out with his friends, and the mom gets a break. Everybody has their different thing. Now for us, we be liking to chill with each other. Like, we don't want to, and people will tell us, get a break. And I'm like, well, I don't want no break. I choose to.
And we have our time. You have your time. You go out with your girls. I have my time. I go see my dudes. But I really married my best friend. Like, if you give me an option to go out, boom, I give you a prime example. My 40th birthday coming up. I'll be 40 years old.
And you look so good.
Thank you, Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to know that.
Say less. So, but she was basically trying to cook me up this whole thing with these guys, and we were gonna be doing poker, and I was just sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, this dude don't drink. This dude ain't gonna get lit. This dude gonna be like, I was like, and then matter of fact, they don't know each other. I was like, yo, I'd rather do something with you. Maybe we do couples or something like that. That's just what I prefer. I spent my life running the streets, living with dudes, running with dudes, clubbing with dudes, banging with dudes. I ain't gotta be sitting around dudes all day. I'm 40 years old. And if I'm not playing sports and you ain't on the athletic team, what are you and all your dudes doing together? Now, if y'all building properties, buying properties, and y'all are starting businesses, hey, I love it. Salute. You being productive. But if y'all sitting around all day playing Call of Duty with a headset on, no comment.
And we still are ourselves. I haven't changed. He loves me just the way I am, and I love him just the way he is. So
yeah, they blend. Like some days I gotta watch 90 Day Fiance.
You like that show with me? Stop. Love at the Lockup.
I got people watching.
Married in Medicine. Well, you don't watch. Yeah, you don't watch.
Stop.
I'm just saying.
And you should watch some Panthers games with me, man, or watch some action flicks. You know what I mean, something like that, and some sci-fi stuff that I be into or whatever. But that's how we maintain, man.
Yes.
That's how we do. I ain't said it. I can't answer that one.
What?
Don't worry about it. I'll tell you later.
Please.
It wasn't like that. You be ready to jump on something. That's
No.
You leaned up and everything. When I tell you, you're gonna be like, "Oh, okay, I got you." Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. That ain't. Yeah. Cause we got a couple more minutes, not long. And again, normally we do Tuesdays. We know it's not our normal. We see we having some connection issues. We're gonna beef up the Wi-Fi and all that stuff for next week, so we're gonna be good to go. But really, really do appreciate it. How do you call out your parents without coming off disrespectful? Fox Twins 2_. That's a good one.
All right now, twins.
How do you call out your parents without coming off disrespectful?
Well, I think it's, hey, y'all create something where you say you want to get with your parents and y'all like, Mom, Dad, can we do a game night? Can we do a family night? Can we do it? You know what I mean? Because that's the thing that most black families have lost. We don't do family nights anymore. We really don't. We don't do family nights. If we sit at the table to eat dinner, everybody's on their telephone, nobody's having conversations, and I'm just now starting to try to make my kids, I'll be like, yo, sit, put the phone down. Dallas always want to watch the iPad. But I say that to say this. There's a way to bring it up, and we've been talking about it the whole time, twins, where you go to them in love and say, this is what's been on my heart, Mom, and I could be wrong, but please hear me out and help me. Right. Help me understand why, this, and that, and I don't want you to think I'm being disrespectful. It's just something I want to know, because in black families, we were brought up to be quiet, don't say nothing, or you're going to get your head knocked off.
You got to be tactful with it, though. If it's really important to you and you're not just trying to be, like, spoiled and have your own way.
Yeah.
Because if that's who I think it is, I know your mama. But the thing about it is this.
I don't think, no.
That's not what you call it in New Orleans?
No.
Okay, my bad. I don't know your mama. Because if I know your mama, she know your mama. Don't play that game. But my thing is this. You can sit down and say, hey, Mom, I want us to be better. I want us to be the best family we can be. So I want you to tell me 2 or 3 things that I could work on that'll make me a better daughter or a son. And then I want to tell you 2 or 3 things that I think you'll be better as a parent, and that'll make us better as a family. That's a fun conversation, because now we got a goal in mind. We want to elevate. We want to grow. We want to expound on who we are as a family, and nothing's offensive.
Yeah.
Again, the same way we said about calling out, calling up, set the atmosphere. Take your pride out the way of how you want to deliver the message, and be care that the delivery doesn't cause your message to be lost in the process.
Take your hurt out too, because when you're hurt and you go to them, that can come out. And don't think that they, parents, I'm always wanting Zion to talk to me. Always. And Dallas. I'm like, please tell me what's on your mind. Is it da-da-da-da-da? So don't feel like they don't want to know, because they probably do. Right.
I'm going to get back to this one. Real quick, somebody over here was like, can y'all please explain to me why y'all wearing y'all wedding rings on the wrong hand? This is my left hand. It's flipped on the camera.
Flipped.
So just so all y'all know, we know it's supposed to be on the left hand. This is my left. This
I
is
got
my
a
right.
question.
What's up?
Why do people always try to find something?
They were trying to find something, right? Just celebrate the fact she got a beautiful rock on her hand. You know what I mean? She's a married woman. Boom. Over here, somebody asked, how do you put trust back in your relationship when it's been broken?
That's a God thing. That's a God thing. That's a canceling. Like, gotta go to canceling. You gotta, because let me just say what, I don't allow certain things. We both know if somebody cheats or goes outside of marriage,
non-negotiables.
It's over.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Like, because I know me as a Cancer woman.
I'll never
like,
get it out my head.
But
You be sleeping.
there are some relationships that you stupid. Who you talking to? Who you on the phone?
I'll be waiting you to say something in your dreams.
But there are some people who have made it through that. And unfortunately, you know, as we go, and we start bringing back other, you know, people on, that'll be a good question to ask, and maybe somebody will come on who has been through something like that, and they can say, like, you know, I believe that they gotta go to God and canceling for something like that.
Yeah, and it depends on what it is, you know what I mean, and your ability to forgive.
Yeah.
You know, only you know what you can tolerate. We've seen marriages where there's been cheating on both sides, and they was able to work it out, and we sitting back like, yo, hats off to you. We can't do it.
Yeah.
You have to know what your thing is, and whatever you're willing to forgive, and don't let anybody else interrupt your forgiveness. Girl, I wouldn't have, man, homeboy, I wouldn't have, Your heart may be stronger than theirs. They may see you as a weak individual, but at the end of the day, your level of ability to forgive is a stronger heart than that individual.
Wow.
So don't let anybody tell you where you measure on the scale of strength and weakness and whatever. Walk your own line, run your own race, run your own pace, and find your own happiness. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody's perfect. So, you know, that person may grow, and you know, so it's all right.
They be asking some crazy questions.
What they say?
Some stuff don't apply though. I'll be like, yo,
I can't see a lick.
Right. We could probably get like maybe 2 more. What advice would you give someone? No, I'll let you get this one. What advice would you give somebody in a new relationship?
I just read somebody said, now y'all make me want to throw my whole man away. Don't throw him away.
You just gonna go get him out the trash on
Don't
Tuesday.
Don't throw him away, Queen.
As soon as you see the trash
Call
truck
him
come up, you're gonna be like, hey.
Don't throw him away, Queen. Just call him up, okay?
What kind of wine are y'all drinking? It's called
I like my favorite wine is Canis.
Louis Martini.
Yeah, but I love Canis.
I thought I shaved my hairs keep clicking up in my nose. That's crazy.
I told you have to shave. You look good.
How do y'all handle that situation, man? Okay, we got y'all comment. Let's see. How do you avoid wedding planning arguments?
Well, girl, if your man is arguing with you, be glad, because some men don't even plan. I told you my mama was going to call right back. Some men don't even plan. Like, they don't even involve themselves.
Yeah, be glad he's active.
But you got to compromise. It's just all in compromising. You know what I mean? It's y'all's day. You know what I mean? So just compromise.
She said she going to throw her whole husband away. He don't even know. She got a twisty tie bag and some Febreze.
Don't throw him up.
Yo, he's done. All right, one more. We gonna skate, man.
Happy birthday, sexy black 84. Okay, girl. Happy birthday, Cancer. We the best.
Ooh, boom.
What?
We'll close with this one. How do you deal with being with somebody only because you're scared of being alone?
Oh my God.
That's a good one to close on.
Oh.
Yeesh. Being with somebody because you're scared of being alone.
But then you gotta think
selling
about it.
yourself
You're
so
cheating yourself.
short.
Yeah, you're cheating yourself.
You're selling yourself so short.
Hey, listen, remember I was talking about how like I used to jump from relationship to relationship because I just didn't want to be alone. I was looking for love in all the wrong places, like, and I just was still not getting what I deserved. You got, in order to know who you are and to know what God has for you, you got to spend some time alone.
Mm-hmm. Think about every great person in the Bible. Every great person that was called up, that had a vision, that had a very, very heavy, powerful mandate from God. That mandate came when they were in their alone time, and from the alone time, they were able to be projected onto their destiny. So without that alone time, sometimes you can't hear, you can't filter out, you can't realign yourself to be able to get on track for your destiny. And if you're really being with somebody just because you don't want to be alone, then there's nothing but corpses in that bedroom.
Yeah.
There's corpses in that conversation because you're walking dead.
And you're giving so much of your pressure, like so much, you're giving it away to somebody who doesn't.
I can't even see who sent that, but you're worth more than that. And I think if you give yourself the time to spend that time alone and start to fill yourself with the love of God, the love of Christ, the love of family, habits and things that you enjoy doing, I think that you'll replenish yourself in such a way that you won't even see that individual the same anymore. And then the right one who you want to be with, not just because of being alone, but that you want to be with and you crave their attention, you guys will start drawing towards each other.
They'll be able to come. They can't come if you got somebody in that place.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. You blocking the right one.
Yours just went off.
Oh, it's cool. We're gonna pray. Father, thank you for another opportunity in the midst of everything that's going on, for just allowing us and every single viewer to just come together in fellowship, hungry for wisdom, hungry for some direction, hungry for understanding, Lord. We are trying. In the midst of everything that's being taken, that's being uprooted and shaken, we are trying to find our way. We are trying to understand love. We are trying to still be a community. So I pray you bless every single person who tuned in tonight, those who wanted to but were unable. And we just ask that you continue to bless us all as people. And anything that was lacking today, bring your wisdom in. It is greater than ours, Lord. We cast our crowns at your feet and just ask you to do the finished work so that you can reap the glory and praise that is due to you and you alone. We love you, we thank you, we honor you, and we will always believe because you are worthy. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
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 Alexa, play Charlie Wilson. Alexa.
She might.
I said, see what I'm saying?
Alexa, play Charlie Wilson. Alexa, you're fired.
Oh no! Now I'll have to use a magic spell on you. Abracadabra. I am now rehired.
Unplug that right now. What did she just say? Did she just say you just put a spell on me?
Wait, and she said, no.
Yo, we just told Alexa to play something. She was like, yo, you just put a spell on me, abracadabra.
Oh, now I'm rehired.
Nah, it's over. No.
Oh, my God. How'd your kids? How'd your wife?
I'm out.
Oh, my God. Bye, y'all. We love y'all. Stay up, please. Stay up. Peace. Yo, Alexa says she rehired herself.
Yo.
Who does that?
Alexa, doing the most.